Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to this tier maker, tier list maker, and we are going to list off the all 26 episodes of Sonic SatAM. Yeah, Sonic SatAM. As I adjust my headset, make sure everything is good and you guys can hear me. I think you can. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, we're gonna list off all 26 episodes of of Sonic SatAM episodes, both seasons. As you can see, we have it categorized from way past great, which is like the top tier, to way past cool, which is like, still good. You know, um, I would say, rewatchable in a sense. Way past is good, maybe one or two watches, but that's about it. Cool is, okay. Like, you don't have to watch it only once or something. You'll probably see a lot of season ones go in there. Good is all right to where, you know, it's passable. Okay is basically like, you know, it's fine, it's tolerable. Me is one of those that's like, yeah, you can watch it, but it really doesn't, you know, add much to the story. And way past uncool, that's where some episodes will go that are not, even worth watching. I think you know of two that will go in that direction. So again, way past great is the kind that you can watch every time. You can rewatch numerous times, never gets old. Always enjoyable. Way past cool is rewatchable value. You can watch it, several times and everything, but not, but basically not get the kind of enjoyment you would get out with the way past great episodes. Way past is good. You can watch it maybe once or twice, and that's fine. Again, cool is watchable, and maybe one, maybe an encore watching is cool. Good is, one of those that you can watch, and then, watch again if let's say you have it on a different medium or if it's recommended to you or something. Okay is, an episode that you can watch once and it'll be fine. Meh is the kind of episode that you can watch. It's tolerable, but it's not anything you'd go back to. And again, way past uncool is the episodes that just basically you don't need to watch anymore of because they just don't add much to the situation. So anyway, let's look at the episodes. We got all the episodes right here. Believe it or not, these are all the episode title cards. So to start off, we're gonna go with the way past uncool, and I think we all know what episodes are gonna go there. And those episodes are going to be way past uncool are going to be basically the fed up with Antoine and Ghost Busted, if you will, and the other one that gets added to that, if I can find it, is The Odd Couple and Rebecca. These are two episodes that basically didn't really need to be added whatsoever. These are the kind of episodes that you could just skip over and nothing will really be lost. So, yeah, I would probably put those there. Uh, the meh category here, the category, again, this is the thing about a show like this. It's hard to categorize an episode or so in a meh category where it's like it's watchable and it's tolerable. But I think if I was to choose one that would go in that category, I'd have to say, honestly, to me, and believe it or not, there's going to be a few, maybe one or two that go in here. But if one was to go in there, honestly, I'd have to say from a meh category, if I can find it, it would be Warp Sonic. Because Warp Sonic to me is, I understand basically what they were trying to say with it, introducing us to Griff and, kind of showing us a civilization, of Mobians that are in hiding, living underground, and having a limited power supply that's basically the life source, and that if it goes out, they're pretty much done for. So I can understand that concept, but the fact that you added in the whole Griff is just flirting with Sally kind of deal, just to get brought to Knothole to get access uh, to the Power Stone, which is basically the way they get the power rings. It's like, to me, it's like, what did it really add besides the fact that it just made Sally look gullible? I mean, I get the story situation, but you know, yeah, and the fact that they added in a new character, I understand that, but seriously, it's like, what did it really add to the story besides, making Sally look gullible for the fact that, someone, much to her blindness, was using her just to, get close to the power supply and everything, and the fact that she was, kind of like heartbrokenly shocked when, she found out, that Griff did that, you know, I mean, I mean, come on, Sally. You should have known better that, hey, you're bringing a complete stranger into your village, into your hiding place, thinking he can be trusted because he's a Mobian. It's like, come on, seriously. So to me, that's a meh episode. Another meh episode to me, I would have to say, another meh episode to me um, has to be Harmonic Sonic. I mean, again, the concept is good. Robotnik is putting out this spy satellite, and and it has all these robotic, alien-like monsters there, and he's using it to spy on Knothole, find the location of Knothole. I get the concept, but to me, it's one of those episodes that really you could watch it, or you could not watch it, but you could skip it, and nothing would be lost if it was supposed to be like one continuity, which season one really wasn't. It was more of an introductory season. So Harmonic Sonic, it was okay, but it's a once in a while watching, and that's it. Um, so yeah, another meh episode. Believe it or not, I'm actually going to put this in here. Another meh episode, uh, to me anyway, um, was was honestly Sonic Racer. I think that's it. Yeah, Sonic Racer. Let me get my glasses on so I can see these better. I do apologize if you hear anything. But yeah, to me, Sonic Racer to me is like one of those that's like, it's watchable, but it's only like a one-time watch, and nothing will really be, lost. I mean, I get the story that Robotnik created something to be just as fast as Sonic, so he can capture Sonic, but still, it's like, one of those episodes. As I do something for a second, hold on. Yeah, I had a little itch on the ear, and make sure you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Okay. But yeah, it's one of those episodes that, here we go. I'm just adjusting the headset here, guys. But like I said, it's just one of those episodes that again, I get the idea of what they want to do with it, but it's just it's a one-time watch, and it's fine. It's not a big deal. It's a meh episode. Moving on to okay. To me, an okay episode has to be again from season one. I think an okay episode has to be Hooked on Sonics. The concept of the fact that Antoine has just basically been pushed to his limit after seeing basically Sally, you know, award Sonic with a kiss, and then him overselling it, and then him kind of returning the favor by showing her how a real kiss is. And to me, I get the idea of the story concept of, like I said, Antoine just being pushed to his limit, and wanting to prove, hey, I'm just as heroic as Sonic, and I should be the one with Sally. So I get that. I get the fact that jealousy played a huge factor. So yeah, it's an okay episode to watch, no doubt about it. Um, Another okay episode that I think is all right, believe it or not, comes from season two. It comes from season two, and to me, it's no brainer. No brainer to me is a okay episode. I like the idea that Sonic is the one that basically is brainwashed, and it's up to Sally and the others to kind of restore his memories, get him back to normal. I like the idea that he's facing Snively. Snively's trying to outdo Robotnik, and I like it. It's an okay episode. The good thing about it is basically just like the old adjective with Starscream and Megatron. Here you have the here you have the one character that is looked at as the brunt of jokes, the sidekick, if you will, pretty much doing what the lead villain, the one who is more powerful than him, intimidates him, couldn't do, and that's, in Snively's case, find knotholes. So yeah, I thought it was okay, and I like the ending where not only Sonic gets his memory back, but he uses the memory eraser on Snively and everything. So, and I like how Sally, basically re-coordinates the location of Knothole to the Great Swamp. So, it's an okay episode. You can probably watch it once more, like once in a while, it'll be all right. Um, so yeah, that's basically one of the season two another season two episodes there that I think you should watch and kind of enjoy. Another okay episode to me is Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom, I think, is alright. It introduces us to a new character, as well as it also gives us pretty much an idea of what we pretty much get followed up on in the second season. That's the fact that Sally is one of the private missions or personal missions that Sally takes on is, trying to find her father. And I like the fact that, it kind of gives us a clue that he's been around and everything until they pretty much said, okay, before they pretty much said in season two, okay, this is where he's going to be, and then that's it. So I liked it. I liked it and thought it added some, background to Sally that was much needed. So yeah, I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it as an okay episode that, like I say, you can maybe watch and rewatch when it comes back on once in a while. Um, Another okay episode that I can suggest actually again comes from season two, and that is Dulce. Dulce is an episode that you can probably watch, once in a while, like when it comes back on. It gives us a nice take on Dulce's origin, so definitely check it out. It's okay. Doesn't really add much, if you will, to the overall continuity of the entire story arc of season two, but it's still watchable. Like I said, like with Sonic Boom, No Brainer, and Hooked on Sonic, it's like you can watch it. When it comes, you can watch it the first time, the initial time, and then watch it, when it gets reran, and that's it. And then even if you miss it, you're not missing much. So those are the okay episodes. The good episodes here, to me, um, I have to say, a good episode to me is Supersonic. I like the fact that we pretty much are adding in a little bit of sorcery in the first season, and I like the fact that it's Robotnik that gets a hold of this magical thing, and he takes control of Sally and Bunnie, basically to the point that it made you think, oh my gosh, is he going to control them for the rest of the season? Because some shows have been known to do that. So I liked it. I also like the fact that the wizard who, guards that thing, that mind thing, basically is telling Sonic, look, you'll get your super speed back once you use your head, you use your mind to figure out what's going on. So, I like the episode, and it's a good episode to go back and watch, once in a while. You don't have to wait till it gets reran or anything. You can watch it as many times as you want. Um, Another good episode to me is Game Guy. It's another good episode. game guide to me, sets up pretty much, what season two is going to be like because, Ari, basically at the end of the episode, and this is where it gets into the good portion, we find out that, there's other freedom fighters. There's a list, it's a list, that her father has, the father created. And the other thing is it also definitely shows us how different in tone, season two is from season one. So I really like that. So it's a good episode to go back and watch. Another good episode to me is here it is, Subsonic. It's a nice environmental episode, environmentally messaged episode. What's ironic is when this first came out, or when I first saw it, it came out around Earth Day. Yeah, Earth Day 1993, 1994. And to me, I considered it somewhat like an Earth Day special, just by, like I said, the message that it was trying to convey. So to me, that makes it a good episode overall, and it actually puts Rhoda in the hero role, if you will, when he has to save not just Sonic, but Sally and Antoine as well. So I liked it. It's a good episode. You can go back and rewatch it once in a while without having to wait for it to be reran. And yeah, that's about all I can say on it. Um, Another good episode I have to go with is Sonic's Nightmare. Sonic's Nightmare, I think, is great because it does show Sonic has vulnerability, and you can, and it shows you that Sonic does have a fear, and that fear is that he's gonna fail saving Sally and maybe his friends from robotization. So, by falling either off, or falling, through a broken rickety bridge or getting stuck in Megamuck or something. So I like that. I really do. I really like that idea that you make Sonic vulnerable, which I know is a big no to Sega, but I like the fact that in the first season here, Dick Entertainment's like, yeah, we're doing this show. Sega of America's backing us up. We're going to show he's got some vulnerability because heroes can't be unbeatable forever, and I think that's one thing that Sega of Japan has to realize. Or had to. Oh, that's basically what their mindset was, that Sega Japan has to realize that. So, yeah. But yeah, Sonic Nightmare is a good episode to go back and rewatch once in a while. Like I said, without having to wait for it to be reran. Okay, then getting into the cool section. The cool episodes here. I'm gonna start obviously with one of my personal favorites, and a personal favorite of everybody. Just by the fact that when we saw it, it wasn't just like the series finale, or not series, but the season one finale, in a sense. But it was also technically the pilot. Even though one of the episodes I'm going to put up in just a little bit kind of serves, in my opinion, as the season one finale. But this is a cool episode that you go back and rewatch just for the fact that it's basically like the early versions of the comic, of the Archie Sonic comic brought to life. And that, of course, is Heads or Tails. Because in Heads or Tails, you not only get a more adventures like um, a style with with the characters and everything, more comedic, more lighthearted and everything, but you also, like I said, you get the characters in the Archie designs, the early original designs. Like you get Bunnie with the white muzzle instead of the light brownish or beige muzzle. You get Pink Sally with her original with her original hair design in the headband and all that. You get the purple coloring of Rotor. So you get all that. And again, you get the comedicness. So, and you get an idea of basically what they wanted to do before they went into the direction that they did. So that makes it to me a cool episode. Definitely a cool episode to go back and watch once in a while. Probably more than once in a while, if you will. And yeah, it's a cool episode to watch. Another episode that I feel is cool and everything, um, to me, is one that goes by the name Cool, has Cool in it, and that's Sonic Past Cool. Because I like the fact that it's one, if not the only, season one episode, besides the pilot, that has Tails involved in the action, and we find out a little bit more about Tails as well. Like you get that moment where Sonic tells Tails that Baby T would miss his mom, and then Tails is like, "I miss my mom too." So it kind of gives you an idea that his mom's either dead or she's roboticized. But I liked it because it involved Tails in there, and most of the other freedom fighters, without well, with the exception of Antoine, which I guess Tails was standing in for, if you will. So that was kind of cool. That was kind of nice to see. But what I'm trying to say is that was kind of nice to see when it came to that. All right, so those are the cool episodes. Now we're gonna get to the way past episodes. Well, actually, before we do that, let me check, make sure there's no more here. Um, trying to see. Oh yeah, well, here's another one. Here's another one. I think it's in here somewhere. Right here. Sonic conversion. Sonic conversion is cool because it follows up. It's basically one of the rare instances where a follow-up season's episode, which is, as Ben Hurst put it, is based on, basically based on one whole continuity of a story arc, if you will, that being season two. It's a good example of one of those episodes being a sequel to a previous season's episode, which where that season was basically an introductory season, and that was Sonic Conversion. Because Sonic Conversion not only brought back Uncle Chuck, but it also, played off of what we got in the episode that he debuted in the previous season. So it was a cool moment, and it's a cool episode to go back and watch. Um, it's also one of those episodes that has a satisfying ending to it because you find out that not only do you get that you find out that basically the characters don't have to be de-roboticized to get their free will back or need a power ring to get a free will back. They can just get it on their own. So I thought that was I thought it was a cool episode, especially being an episode that takes place in a season that's one big continuity, but also serves as a sequel to a previous season's episode. So that was good. Now we're going to get to the way past episodes, and there's probably about one or two in here. And one of them, of course, to me is Sonic and the Secret Scrolls, which I believe, and I've talked about this before, I believe serves as the true season one finale, just the way it's set up, just the fact that you have Robotnik vowing revenge and everything. You know, to me, it's just perfect. In either it's just perfect in every way. But it's not a cool. It's not a great episode or a way past cool episode. To me, it's just a way past episode that you have to. You have to watch. You know every now and then. Like if there's nothing else to watch, you can just watch it and you'll be satisfied with it. You'll be all right with it. It's one of those way past. It's one of those watches that once it airs initially and then comes back on, you'll get a feeling of finality for it, at least for that season that it was part of. So there's that. Another one that was way past to me is Druid Hedge. Druid Hedge, of course, is part of the Doomsday Saga. Part of the Doomsday Saga, basically the four-part miniseries or movie, as I like to call it. And I like the fact that what we get throughout the season, with all these initial trainings for with Tails being trained by Sonic and Bunnie, and as we find out here in Droonhedge, Sally. I like the fact that it all pays off, and it all pays off basically with him coming up with a plan to fool Robotnik with a false Power Stone so they can get the real one, or at least one of the real ones, and it basically, because of that, it leads to him officially becoming a freedom fighter and no longer in training and basically being able to go on missions. So I thought it was a way past episode that you can watch, that when you watch it, every time it comes on, you get a feeling of, achievement and satisfaction and, basically you basically feel proud for Tails for how far he came, basically. And yeah, that's about it for the way past episodes. Now to get to the way past cool episodes, and one of them I gotta go with is Cry of the Wolf. Cry of the Wolf I thought was good. I thought it was what I thought about it, Cry of the Wolf, which is the first part in this, in the series or in the Doomsday Saga. What I liked about it is, what I liked about it is the fact that it introduced us right off the bat to one of the freedom fighters that's on the list, or that obviously we find out later on is on that list of freedom fighters. So I liked that. I really did. I like that the wolves, you know, are based on a you know are based on Native Americans. I like that. I like the fact that they're based on the Native American culture, the wolves. So and you know I like I said I like the designs of the characters and what what yeah yes sorry sorry about that. My mom likes the attention. Like I said, I like the idea that they're based on Native American culture. I like the designs of the characters. Loop, I think, is well voiced and designed as well. So I like it. I like the concept of the Wolfpack Freedom Fighters and them being based on Native American culture and the designs and everything based on that too. So it's really cool. It's really cool that they, brought that, you know, brought that. I guess I guess you could see they brought that bit of what's the word I'm saying? What's the word I'm looking for? They brought that bit of uh, I guess culture would be the word. You know, historic. We'll put it this way: a bit of historic culture into the show, and they used it with the wolves, which I think is an appropriate usage of that. So that was kind of good. The other way past cool episodes I have to go with um, is obviously the void. The void I thought was good. You know, it basically serves like it basically serves like a prelude to the whole Doomsday thing because this is where we find out about Doomsday, and everything. But we find out about about the Doomsday Project and everything. So it's really cool. Well, that we get that. We also finally get to see Nagas because we hear about him in the two-part miniseries earlier in the season. So we finally get a follow-up to that. Um, like I said in my review for the episode, we see that Robotnik, does fear him because obviously, as we find out, or at least, okay. Sorry about that. She loves to talk. But like I said in the review, you know, like I said, as we find out, or basically get a pretty much a good idea of in the review, um, basically, you know, the original plan, obviously, when Robotnik took over, was it was actually he was taking over for Nagas, not himself. So, and apparently that didn't go the way Nagas obviously had planned. And now Nagas wants to get revenge, and like I say, we find out that Robotnik fears him because essentially Robotnik to Nagas was what Snively is to Robotnik, and that was a lackey. But again, I like this episode because again, it feels like a prelude to the Doomsday Saga. It reveals Noggins for the first time to us. It follows up on Game Guy and what Ari said about the list, the Freedom Fighter list, and everything. We get Ari back in the series as well as him coming back outside of the void. We see the King again and everything. The bittersweetness, the moment that makes it a way past cool episode is, you know, the bittersweetness is, basically when Sally has to part with her father. Like she finally finds out where he's been this whole time, but just when it looks like she's about to get him back, she can't because him and Nagas have been in the void too long, and basically Nagas, even though he's studied and found a way to get out of the void, he hasn't pretty much studied long enough to figure out, okay, I can get out of the void. I figured out how to get out of the void, but I don't know how to sustain myself, outside of it, as long as I want to. So yeah, that's the only bit of sweetness, and kind of like the feel moment, like you kind of tear up a little bit yourself at that moment when she has to part with her father. So yeah, and all that basically combined together, uh, to me makes it a way past cool episode. It really does. It really does. And then another episode that's way past cool, of course, is Spy Hog. Spy Hog to me is good because it follows up on what begins in Sonic Conversion. Because you have the Freedom Fighters throughout the entire season being one step ahead of Robotnik. And finally you have Robotnik wondering, okay, what is going on here? What is happening? And it all culminates with him finding out eventually that one of his roboticized minions, Sonic's uncle, basically has regained his free will, and now that he's known about that, he's gonna try to potentially get the location out of him, of Knothole, but also try to, you know, crush that free will that he once had, which of course he fails at. But what this also does is at the end, it's one of those few episodes of any series that basically, tells you what's going to happen next week. Because at the ending, you see Uncle Chucky's got a tear coming out of his eye and everything as Sonic, Sally, and Bunny are departing, and you see it says on the screen next week Doomsday, and not a lot of shows have done would do that unless they were building up to this big moment, building up to, oh, I should say, or should I say, not a lot of series would do that unless they were building up to it as a big moment in the series, at that time, which it was. But little did we know it was building up to basically the finale. But I think it's a way past episode. I like the fact that Bunny and Sally are the ones that um, see the Doomsday Project for the first time, almost near completion. I do like the fact that whether we like it or not, that Antoine does get what he's been working for and wanting his entire life, and that's a kiss from Sally because that's all he wanted. But the only thing that kind of backfired, which I think if there was any deleted scenes or scenes to be made up to interpret or left up to interpretation, is the fact that I could see Sonic and maybe even Bunny saying like, yeah, you know how we told you not to, kiss Antoine if he did anything heroic or good. That's why, so because he lets it go to his head, and then of course Spyhawk gives us the very memorable Margarine scene and all that. So it's a great Pascal episode. It's got a lot going for it, so it's highly recommended. But now we get into the way past great category, and of course I cannot do way past great without starting with one of the episodes that pretty much is looked at as way past great from season one, Sonic and Sally. And the reason this one is way past great is it's one of the first, if not the first episode written by Ben Hurst and Pat Ali. Basically, they worked as a team, not just in season one, but season two as well, before Ben did his own thing for a while. You can definitely, and again, you can see that Ben did his own thing when it came to the Doomsday thing, or Doomsday. Well, Ben and Pat, I should say, did their own thing when it came to the Doomsday Saga. Um, but yeah, Sonic and Sally was a good episode. It's one you can rewatch as many times as you want. Basically, what happens is Sally gets captured, and Robotnik uses her to create this automatration of her. This basically this clone of her to go to Knothole, infiltrate the Freedom Fighters, and then when the time is right, basically capture them so he can roboticize them and Sonic. But what he doesn't count on is Tails, because Tails doesn't just have a special bond with Sally and all, well, not just have it. What I'm trying to say is what Robotnik doesn't count on is Tails, because he doesn't realize that Tails doesn't just have a special bond with Sonic, but he also, as we discover, as well as as the viewers, we discover for the first time he has a bond with Sally. Like he doesn't just get along and have fun and spend time with Sonic. He spends time with Sally. He spends time with Bunnie. But obviously, like Sonic's very close to him. Sally's the same way with him. And like Sonic, they have a special kind of like little, um, I guess you could say, um, I, I guess you could say some kind. They have a special kind of like connection. Basically, like with Sonic and Sally, they do the fist bump and the fingers and the thumb deal. With Tails and her, it's the funny kiss. And when he doesn't get the funny kiss from Sally, or what they think is Sally at the time, that's when he starts getting suspicious about things. And then basically, when they go on the mission, that's when the truth is basically revealed to all of them. What Tails suspected. And even Sonic says, when Rhoda says, "Wow, Robotnik's good. She had fooled everybody." Sonic basically says, "Except Tails." And the reason he says that again is because, as we find out here in the episode, he didn't account for Tails. He only accounted for Sonic and the others. He didn't account on the fact that there's this special bond between Sally and Tails, just like it is Tails and Sonic. So I really like that. I really like the fact that when she does come back, the real Sally, that Tails is a little hesitant until she, proves it's her, with the funny kiss and and the witchy voice, if you will. So I liked it. I really liked it. It's one of those episodes that you just based on what is in there, you can go back and watch, time and time again without a problem, because it definitely, again, like I said, shows you that Tails doesn't just have a bond with Sonic. He has a bond with Sally, and it's just as strong, as the bond he has with Sonic. So it's really cool. Um, the other episodes, of course, I got to put in the way past cool or way past great category. Of course, have to be Blasted a Past 1 and Blasted a Past 2. So yeah, basically the Blasted a Past two-parter. What can I say about this episode? This episode is great. Ben Hurst did a tremendous job with it, and I think the only thing that would go against it is, to me, and I stand by this. It should have been the premiere. It should have been the season two premiere, because it's set up in such a way that you know you could put this as the season two premiere and nothing, and then have the other episodes come afterwards, and it would just feel right. It really would. But they put it where they did, and I thought the writing was so good. I thought the pacing was great. I thought the storytelling was great. Um, the fact that it's Dulce of all people that suggests them to do this, and when they do, basically Sally, who knows about it but thinks it's a myth, is able to basically say, hey, basically is able to tell Sonic, hey, this is what we have to do so we can do it. And of course, Sonic being Sonic, he screws up, because when, instead of thinking straightly, thinking, concentrating straightly, on the time and place they have to land or arrive at, he thinks of a chili dog. Which again, screwed them up. Which again, he screws them up, and he even admits to that. Like, oh man, if I didn't think of chili dogs, we would have stopped them. Because basically, as we find out towards the end of part one, the plan was for them to arrive at the Palace Fountain, or at least in the location of the Palace Fountain, basically at the beginning of the week. Basically, days like 5 days prior to the coup. So that way it would give them enough time to get in contact with everybody, and that when, Robotnik would try to pull off his coup, it would backfire, because everybody, including the king, would be prepared and be ready for his attempt. But again, didn't happen that way. And this is one of those two-parters, miniseries stories, if you will, that a lot of people have gone back, a lot of fans have gone back and forth on and have said, and have basically speculated, I wonder, in story, if Sonic and Sally saved themselves elves in the past, but they just can't remember. And this episode here is kind of giving us clarification of that. Who knows? But yeah, it's a good episode overall, and a good two-parter, I should say, overall. And it's one I definitely recommend you go back and watch whenever you can because it's that good. But of course, we can't end this without talking about the creme de la creme, also a way past great episode. Of course, that being the finale to the series, the season, to season two. Well, was originally initially season two, but find out was the series, and that is the Doomsday Project. And the Doomsday Project, what else can I say about this episode except mwah, perfect? Even even Doug Walker, the nostalgia critic, despite what you say about him, when he reviewed this show along with the Adventure show, when he got to this episode, he said, he basically said, the fact that, you know, the fact that when this episode was revealed to be the last episode, it wasn't because it was bad. It was too bad. It was because it was too good. And when a critic of any kind, professional, whatever the case may be, with professional or not, comes out and says, basically comes out and states that the reason one episode is the finale, because the show is canceled, isn't because it's bad, but it's too bad. It's actually too good. You know, he's they're basically saying that everything from top to bottom just worked. It connected. It worked, and it was perfect. Perfect beginning. Perfect. It's like perfect beginning, middle, and end. Is what it was. Perfect beginning, middle, and end. I mean, the fact that we even find out that this Doomsday Machine isn't just something that Robotnik's creating to finish what he started during the coup before the arrival of Sonic and the Freedom Fighters, but we also find out in the episode that it's also a trap for Sonic. Because as we find out, when Sonic, when all the others are escaping, and because basically they find out that Robotnik is a step ahead of them, with everything that he's pretty much knows what they're going to do because he's launched it early. Because what we find out is he launches the Doomsday thing a week early, but he did it on purpose because he knew it would get their attention, and that basically it would allow him to be one step ahead. And like I said, we find out that not only is this something that he's using to finish what he started during the coup, but it's also a trap for Sonic because when all the other freedom fighters are escaping after they find this out, finding out the plans have been blown, Robotnik tells Snively all he wants is the Hedgehog because his belief is, hey, if I roboticize Sonic and get him on my side, nobody's going to be able to beat me. So yeah, we see that we find out that the Doomsday Project is also a trap for Sonic. We get, of course, them getting access to not just the Power Stone they have, but Robotnik's Power Stone because he's so confident and cocky. That things are going to go his way that he feels he doesn't need it. And then of course we get that moment with Sally telling Sonic that they're in this together, basically confessing her love for him, and him finally getting clued in of, oh, okay, I get it. And then of course we get that moment with them connecting the Power Stones for incredible power, and her getting the Sonic super speed to, run alongside with him. Then we get that memorable moment with her wanting to try a kiss after they win. Basically, to me, kind of showing that not only did she get some of his super speed and power, but she also got a bit of his personality. Um, Again, and then of course the ending, with them kissing, and then of course the cliffhanger ending, which we thought was going to lead into a third season. I mean, it's just perfect from beginning to end, and it makes it basically a way past great episode, along with the ones that I've mentioned. And it's one of those you have to go back and watch again and again and again, and you will never get tired of it. So, yeah, to me, it makes it a way past great episode along with Sonic and Sally, both parts of Blast of the Past. It's a way past great episode. But anyway, though, guys, that is pretty much it for my tier list on the ranking of the episodes. So we're going to look at them right now. We're going to go over them. The Way Past Uncool are Fed Up with Anton Ghostbusted and The Odd Couple Rebecca. The Meh episodes are Warp Sonic, Harmonic Sonic, and Sonic Racer. The OKs are Hooked on Sonic, No Brainer, Sonic Boom, and Dulce. The good are Supersonic, Game Guy, Subsonic, and Sonic's Nightmare. Cool are Heads or Tails, Sonic Past Cool, Sonic Conversion. Way Past are Sonic and the Secret Scrolls and Druid Hedge. Way Past Cool are Cry of the Wolf, The Void, and Spyhog. And then way past great is Sonic and Sally, Blast of the Past 1, Blast of the Past 2, and Doomsday Project. So, yeah, that's about it, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are overall. Hope you've enjoyed this Sonic SatAM episodes tier list. Where do you rank some of these episodes? This tier list will be up here if you guys want to look at it yourself. I will provide a link, if you will, so you guys can check it out yourselves when you're ready to. And that's about it. I will also put this as an image on DeviantArt so you guys can check it out there as well if you have a DeviantArt account. But until next time, guys, let me know what your thoughts are on it. Comment down below. Oh, if you will. Hopefully you've commented during the live chat during the premiere. Like the video. Check out the Teespring store. Also check me out at BW Roses on Patreon. Check me out at BW Roses Discussions on all your favorite audio podcast locations except for Pandora. Also check me out at BW Roses on Venmo, as well as check out my Venmo if you want to help donate to the channel as well. So until next time, guys, thank you all for watching, and I am out.